37 more games are getting FPS boost. There is another game confirmed coming to Xbox Game Pass in December, and Phil Spencer wasn't happy with how the Halo Infinite delay was handled. All right, welcome back to another video, guys. If you enjoy daily Xbox content, make sure to hit that subscribe button. So yesterday at the 20th anniversary, we got the announcement of 70 plus more games coming to backwards compatibility. There was also the sad part about that was that it was ending the program for backwards compatibility, and that was due to licensing and legal fees and all that kind of stuff. I'm not very surprised to hear that. It is sad because one of my favorite features on the Xbox Series consoles is the backwards compatibility, but it must be extremely annoying and hard to try and get all of the backwards compatible licenses for some of these games, knowing that one, you're gonna have to go through all of these loopholes in order to make sure that they show up on the system and that they work. But secondly, some of these games, not many people are going to even play, so the cost benefit ratio to doing all that work probably isn't there. But on top of those backwards compatible games, there was also 37 more games that got added with FPS boost, and this is awesome to see, considering a lot of these games really needed it, and they are games that are still great to play, but that FPS boost will make them that much better. So some of the big ones here: Fear 3, Binary Domain. I know a lot of people love that game and we're hoping for that. The original Assassin's Creed, that's pretty interesting to see. There's also the Far Cry games, Fallout 3, which dearly needs it. Fallout New Vegas dearly needs it as well. Then there's also lots of other games here like Nier, which would be awesome to get that FPS boost. Happy that that is there. Got Star Wars, The Clone Wars, Sonic Generations, Sonic Unleashed, both games that are fast paced, so getting the FPS boost will be huge. Cameo, that original Xbox 360 game that released with the console, and I mean, if you haven't played it yet, it's a decent game. I would check it out if you like platformers. All of the Gears of War games, the original Xbox 360 versions of them, and the Gears of War Ultimate Edition. So there's lots of great games here that are getting that FPS boost, and just another great feature on the Xbox. And I hope this continues to happen. I hope this is something they can continue to do, because these are all games that are already backwards compatible. It's just them using the system level features in order to enable the FPS boost and auto HDR. There is a new game coming over to Xbox Game Pass on December 2nd, and that is Warhammer 40,000 Battle Sector. And it is a turn-based strategy game, and it's going to be making its way on to Game Pass PC and Game Pass console. And the developers here said Warhammer 40,000 Battle Sector is going to be released on the Windows Store on the same day, on December 2nd. The same version will be part of Game Pass, Microsoft subscription service for Xbox and for Windows. The only feature that hasn't been implemented on consoles is asynchronous multiplayer system. That said, in addition to live multiplayer matches, we feel that the inclusion of hot seat multiplayer, where two players compete by taking turns to plan and execute their moves on the same console, more than makes up for it. Sitting next to your opponent on the couch as a brutal battle unfolds on the battlefield of the 41st millennium is a lot of fun. So this is just another game we're going to be able to try out on Xbox Game Pass, especially if you're into those turn-based strategy games. And it kind of goes further to the relationship between the Warhammer games and Xbox Game Pass, as we're also waiting on Warhammer 40,000 Darktide, which is going to be a day one Xbox Game Pass game. And you also think of the Total War series making its way onto Xbox Game Pass that just recently got announced. So that relationship is very, very strong between the Warhammer IP and Xbox. All right, and to end things off, a little bit more about Halo Infinite and Phil Spencer's thought on the initial Halo Infinite delay. So this is an interview with GQ. Phil Spencer talks about it, and he says, "I don't like how we did it. I don't like that we showed the game, talked about it launching at the launch of the consoles, and then within a month we had moved it." Now, he says generally in this interview that not many things keep him up at night, but this is one that actually did, delaying Halo Infinite last year. If you remember just how crazy that was, in the sense that Halo Infinite was supposed to release with the Xbox Series console and kind of bring us back to how we felt with the original Xbox when Halo Combat Evolved launched. However, it got delayed after the initial gameplay trailer with the backlash on how the game looked, and instead we got an even cooler announcement, in my opinion, this year, which is when we got the ability to play the Halo Infinite multiplayer on November 15th, commemorating the 20 years of Xbox. So I think the delay overall turned out really well, because I mean, the gameplay is incredible, it looks incredible, that extra year really helped them polish up the game. We would have been at this state of the game, I would say, even if they released it last year, we would have just got it live as we were still playing through it. And that can have a pretty negative effect on people's perception and perspective of the game. So delaying it, I think, was the right move. All that being said, I can completely understand where he's coming from, how he didn't like how it was handled, because they had already done all of the marketing stuff with the Xbox box itself, the back of it. You had Master Chief on there. All of the external marketing stuff in the sense of like the partnerships with energy drinks. Circle K here in Canada had the slushy machine where the cups were Halo Infinite. I went and I just picked up a bunch of those cups. So they had already spent all this money on marketing leading up to the launch of the Xbox Series X and Halo Infinite. The pull back on that release date was a very, very big move. And I think a very hard move to make, kind of a ballsy move, you could say, because they could have gone ahead and released it last year and then just continued to polish and upgrade the graphics as we went. I'm sure the game still played similarly to how it plays now. I don't think there were huge gameplay changes within this year. I think it was a lot more of the way that the game looked aesthetically, as 343 pretty much said that with their monthly updates on what they're doing to improve the game. So in that sense, for Phil Spencer, I can see how that was really hard. I am sure he wanted to get that game out with the launch of the Xbox Series X, but I think the year delay gave it to us on the 20th anniversary of Xbox was just a perfect ending to the lead up to the release of Halo Infinite. Anyways, guys, that's it for me. Let me know what you think about all this in the comments below. Let me know which of the FPS boost games you're going to want to check out. Are you going to be checking out that Warhammer game coming on December 2nd? What do you think about Phil Spencer's thoughts on the delay of Halo Infinite? If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that thumbs up button. If you're new here, you like what you saw throughout this video, I'd really appreciate you hitting that subscribe button and help this channel grow, help grow this community so we can have great conversations in the comments below. Thank you again for watching. Thank you for your support. And I'll catch you in the next video.
Bye.